Equations of circles and intersections homework assignment. This is based off the stuff we learned today. All of this shows up on the test and quiz in some form. So make sure that you can understand what we're doing. If you look in your properties packet that I gave you, the back page has these properties, but the equation of a circle is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals the radius squared. So I'll be using this. I'll be referring back to that. This one, it says this is the center and this is the radius. So the center of a circle is your h and your k. So if I were to plug it into this, what would that look like? Well, if this is positive h and I need negative h would be negative 4 squared. If this is k, but I need negative k, then negative k would be plus 11 squared. And then if the radius is 11, then that would equal 121. It has to be the radius squared. So I'm looking for x minus 4, y plus 11, and 121. Okay. Oh, there's so many options. Okay. Get rid of all the 11s. I need x minus 4. That's a plus. That's a plus. Nope. And then it has to be y plus 11. So it's got to be e. X minus 4, y plus 11 equals 121. E. All right. Very similar situation. So the equation of a circle is x minus h squared y minus k squared equals the radius squared. We learned that today. This is the center, so this is my h and my k. So plugging that in, we know that it's going to be x plus 4. Since k is negative 8, it's going to be y plus 8. And we need to know the radius. So the radius is the distance from the center to the point, right? If I draw a circle, oh, that wasn't a circle, silly. If I draw a circle, if this is the center and this is a point on the circle, the radius will be the length of that segment. So the radius is going to equal the square root of, it's Pythagorean theorem, it's distance. Negative 4 to negative 6, we look at the x's. Negative 4 to negative 6 is 2. Look at the y's. Negative 8 to 1 is 9. So that will be 4 plus 81. That will be the square root of 85. So this will equal whole number 85. Why? This is what r equals, but we want r squared. It equals r squared. So x plus 4, out, out, out. Y plus 8, and then equals 85. So it's got to be F. It's got to be F. All right. And then here we go. These are my babies. I love these questions. They're so fun. There's so much good algebra going on. Here we go. There's 3 of them to work on. I'll do the first one slower, and the next 2 I'm going a lot faster. But they're all the same process. This is what y equals. I'm going to take that and plug it in for y, step 1. So x minus 5 squared stays the same. And this becomes, instead of y, we're going to change that to x plus 1, and there's a minus 2. And then I'm going to clean that up just a little bit. What is x plus 1 minus 2? Well, plus 1 minus 2 is minus 1. Equals 16. So boom, boom, nailed it, nailed it. If you're real good, could you skip this step? Of course. You can go straight to the next one if you understand what you're doing. All right, and then we practice this. We're squaring the binomial. This is a big deal. We practiced this today. We got to make sure we're good at it. Go watch the other video if you need all the details on this, but it's always x squared. It's always, this is my a and this is my b. So remember that a plus b squared equals a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. So go back and watch the video if you don't know why, but that's where it always ends up. So A and B. So A squared, and then it is A times B times 2. A times B times 2. X times negative 5 times 2. It is X times negative 5 times 2, or minus 10X. And then it's plus B squared, which would be plus 25. Then we do it all over again over here. Same thing. This time, this is A and this is B. So it's going to be A squared, which is X squared. And once again, A times B times 2. That's the process to get the middle. So what is X times negative 1 times 2? It is negative 2X. And then we have a plus 1 at the end, equals 16. From here, we combine like terms. This would be 2x squared minus 12x plus 26 equals 16. Then we make it equal to 0. 2x squared minus 12x plus 10 equals 0. And this is my guarantee for this class only. This is not forever. This is not every time you ever do this, but this year in this class, this is going to all be divisible by whatever A is. There will be a GCF, I promise. So divide everything by 2. And now we factor. So this is A equals 1 factoring. So hopefully we have a pretty good idea of how to factor something like that. And we get X equals 5 and X equals 1. Now recall right here, recall that Y equals X plus 1. All right, they told us that. That was our initial statement right here. Y equals X plus 1. So if I know X is 5, then Y equals 5 plus 1, and Y equals 1 plus 1, right? Plug in 5 for X, plug in 1 for X. So my final answer is X equals 5 when Y equals 6. 5 plus 1 is 6. And X equals 1 when Y equals 2. Those are the solutions. 5, 6, and 1, 2. So those are the steps. I'm gonna do the rest of them a little faster, but it's the same idea the whole time, guys. All right, so find 2 points of intersection for the line blah, 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 blah. Same steps. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to plug it in for Y. I'm going to skip around a little bit, but it's the same steps as before. So we have X plus 2 squared. And when I plug that in, when I plug in 3X plus 7, don't forget there's a plus 4. That's going to be 3X plus 11 squared. And that equals 25. And then we practice squaring. It's A squared plus 2AB plus B squared. And then so that's this one. And then we do the other one, 3X plus 11. It is A squared plus 2AB plus B squared. Don't forget it equals 25 over here. That's actually what people forget most often on these questions. They forget that number hanging out. Combined like terms would be 10x squared plus 70x plus 125 equals 25. So make it equal to 0 plus 70x plus 100 equals 0. And this will be divisible. I've told you for this class it's going to it's going to have a GCF. So pull out the 10 and you get x squared plus 7x plus 10. And now it's an A equals 1 factoring question. So that would be x plus 5 times x plus 2. So x equals negative 5, my 5s, negative 5 and negative 2. Remember that y equals 3x plus 7. So we have 2 coordinates. We have negative 5 for x. We have negative 2 for x. What happens when we plug in negative 5? Plug in negative 5, we would get negative 15 plus 7. That would be negative 8. Plug in negative 2. What happens when you plug in negative 2? You would get negative 6 plus 7. And that would be 1. So our answers are negative 5, comma, negative 8, and negative 2, comma, 1. All righty. One more. So I gave you the line. Oh, we got a little bit of work. If that's the circle, if that's the center, so first we have to write the equation of the circle. That would be x minus 3 squared. Remember, this is h comma k plus y plus 4 squared equals 100. It is x minus h, y minus k equals r squared. Okay. So this is the equation, x minus 3, y plus 4 equals 100. Perfect. And now the steps, now we do what we've been doing. We're going to take this and plug it in here. Negative 2x minus 18 plus 4. So we're going to have x minus 3 squared. We're going to have negative 2x minus 14 squared equals 100. Now we practice squaring the binomials. So this would be a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. A times b times 2. All right, here's a much harder one. A squared, 2ab. Look real hard. A times b times 2. A times b times 2 will be positive 28 times 2 will be plus 56. And then plus b squared. Okay. Whew, we made it through the hard part, but we still have a lot of work to do. Combine like terms, 5x squared. Negative 6 and 56 will be plus 50x. 196 plus 9 would be plus 205 equals 100. Make it equal to 0. 5x squared plus 50x plus 105 equals 100. Remember I said you're going to be able to divide every time. So divide by 5, divide by 5, and divide by 5. Now we factor. X plus 7, x plus 3 equals 0. So x equals negative 7 and negative 3. What factors of 21 add up to 10? So these problems are a really good example, guys, of like why it's important to understand and be good at things. If any of these skills that you need to solve this are hard for you, then you just totally stop in your tracks and you won't be able to do this question because this is a long question. None of the individual skills take a super long time, but look at all the things we have to do. So if you do struggle with any of those individual things, this becomes tough. That's why it's important to not rely on your calculator, not to rely on all these other things, because you rob your chance of getting really good at things. All right, let's finish the question. So remember that this is what y equals. So we're going to plug in negative 7 and negative 3. Plug in negative 7, you would get 14 minus 18. Plug in negative 3, and you would get 6 minus 18. And we're done. Lots of fun. I enjoy those questions. Make sure you really know what you're doing. All right, I'll see y'all next time.